I'm Batman.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 actors who played multiple comic book characters.
How about Chris High Five?
Okay. Merry Christmas.
For this list, we'll be looking at actors who star in multiple movies based on comic books. We'll be taking both movie and TV roles into account. Who's your favorite actor that has had multiple comic book movie roles? Let us know in the comments.
Hey Mojoholics! For a chance to win cash prizes, play our live daily trivia challenges every day at 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern only at WatchMojo.com/play.
Number 20. Oscar Isaac. Some would say that Oscar Isaac is the king of Marvel, as he has performed in 3 different Marvel universes. First, he terrorized the mutants as the villain Apocalypse in X-Men Apocalypse, although you might not have even realized it was him due to the heavy-duty makeup and costume.
Asleep, trapped in darkness. I was not there for you, my son, but I am here now.
Next, he lent his voice to Miguel O'Hara in Into the Spider-Verse, and would return into a much bigger role in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Send me home. I can't do that.
He would also join the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the 2022 series Moon Knight, where he would play several different characters.
You need to give me control. You understand? What control of what? What are you talking about?
Number 19. Brandon Routh. If Oscar Isaac is the king of Marvel, this guy is the king of DC. He's mostly known for his role as the Atom in DC's Legends of Tomorrow and throughout the other shows in the Arrowverse.
Really? These guys again?
But one of his first major roles was as Superman in Superman Returns, who also appears in the Arrowverse.
I know some people are asking a lot of questions now that I'm back. I think it's only fair that I answer those people.
He also voices a few different characters in several DC animated games like LEGO DC Supervillains. But don't worry, we didn't forget about Scott Pilgrim, one of the best comic book movies ever. Todd Ingram is by far the best of the League of Evil Exes, mainly because of his awesome vegan powers.
Being vegan just makes you better than most people.
Bingo.
Number 18. Michael Fassbender. His most prominent comic book role is as Magneto in the X-Men franchise. Stepping into a role previously played by Sir Ian McKellen are some pretty big shoes to fill, but Fassbender definitely understood the assignment. He portrays an intimidating yet sympathetic version of the character.
You betray me.
No. I betrayed them.
Just before becoming the X-Men's foremost villain, he played the also villainous Burke in Jonah Hex. Fassbender himself described his performance as the Riddler meets A Clockwork Orange.
I have no problem educating the man.
Although neither movie is officially in their parent company's cinematic universe, Fassbender is one of few actors to star in both Marvel and DC movies. And let's not forget, years before either, he portrayed one of the 300 in the movie version of the comic.
We are with you, sire! For Sparta! For freedom! To the death!
Number 17. Idris Elba. You probably know him best as Thor's friend Heimdall from several movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Heimdall, may we pass?
Never.
But he's much more than the keeper of the bridge between Asgard and Midgard, as he also starred in another Marvel comic movie outside of the official MCU. He played Johnny Blaze's friend, or at least ally, Moreau in the Ghost Rider sequel, Spirit of Vengeance.
Do you feel him?
And before that, he dabbled in a lesser-known comic book movie called The Losers, where he played one of the Black Ops operatives, Roke, alongside his fellow MCU alum, Captain America himself, Chris Evans. And we can't forget about his role as Bloodsport in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Idris literally killed it as one of DC's finest assassins.
You two all right, yeah?
I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Harley Quinn.
Bloodsport.
Number 16. Mark Hamill. If you're wondering what the guy who played Luke Skywalker was up to throughout the years, the answer is this.
We can't have people cursing at each other on the freeway. It's simply not polite.
For decades after the original trilogy, he lent his talents to a bountiful number of comic book characters. So many that it's practically too much to fit in one entry. His most well-known role is probably as the voice of the Joker in numerous Batman and DC animated movies. He's played the trickster in both animated and live-action versions.
And if any of you decide to call 911 instead, well, then we switch to lead poisoning.
And he's also voiced many lesser-known characters such as Swamp Thing and the Hobgoblin.
The last one? I don't think so.
Number 15, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. If you thought Negan was scary in the comics, Morgan's performance in The Walking Dead is terror personified.
Oh my God. Are you gonna make me count?
His villainous wrath transcends into the spin-off show Dead City as well, where he goes from the hunter to the hunted, the villain to the anti-hero. He played the gruff and angry anti-hero, the Comedian, in 2009's Watchmen.
Just a matter of time, I suppose.
And he also starred alongside Idris Elba and Chris Evans in The Losers as another anti-hero, Clay. He even had a smaller role as Batman's father, Thomas Wayne, in Dawn of Justice. Number 14, Hailee Steinfeld. Another veteran in the Marvel Universe, Hailee Steinfeld amazed us as Kate Bishop in the Hawkeye series.
You see, that's the problem, Gary. You don't even know my name.
Her performance brought the character humor and depth at the same time, not to mention the kick-ass fight scenes. With the way the MCU usually goes, we can hope for her to reprise the role as the new Hawkeye in upcoming Marvel movies and series. And if you were wondering where you'd heard her voice before, that's because she voices Gwen Stacy in the animated Spider-Verse movies.
Friends?
Friends.
Number 13, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Who the hell are you? What is this?
I'm kick-ass. Look me up.
This English actor first donned the tights in 2010 as the titular Kick-Ass in the live adaptation of Mark Millar's hyper-violent and grounded superhero comic book of the same name. And he did it in the company of multi-character comic book movie actor Nicolas Cage, who went from Ghost Rider to Big Daddy.
You need us, put on your website that you're on vacation. We'll find you. Hit girl, back to headquarters.
This was before Taylor Johnson bulked up and, emphasizing his geekier qualities, he made for a perfect Dave Liszewski. Though his tenure as Quicksilver in the MCU was sadly short-lived, he nonetheless left a lasting impression and made a true hero's exit.
You didn't see that coming.
Number 12, Tom Hardy.
Well, congratulations. You got yourself caught. Sir, now what's the next step of your master plan?
Crashing displayed.
After working with Dark Knight director Christopher Nolan on Inception, Tom Hardy was cast as Bane, the villain who broke Batman. And he proved that the character doesn't need comic book super steroid Venom to be a terrifyingly intimidating physical force. Speaking of Venom, Hardy has also donned the mantle of the Marvel villain anti-hero in a film that aimed to redeem the character following the disappointment of Spider-Man 3.
You gonna eat anybody else?
Most likely.
Oh, God.
Few actors can say that they have two big-name characters of this caliber on their resume, earning Hardy a spot on our list.
What the hell are you?
We are Venom.
Number 11, Michael B. Jordan.
Sometimes things just happen for a reason.
Johnny, you have no idea what they are planning to do to you.
They're not doing anything to me. I'm doing this with them.
We should consider ourselves lucky that Michael B. Jordan was willing to return to the superhero genre after the mess that was his first comic book outing. In Jordan's defense, his performance had nothing to do with Josh Trank's reboot becoming the train wreck it did. He was actually enjoyable in the role of Johnny Storm.
How about two guys, a girl, and the thing that nobody wanted?
Hey, we both know that you could take him.
What really earned Jordan a spot on our list, however, was his turn in Black Panther as the prodigal son of Wakanda, Eric Killmonger Stevens.
I'm exercising my blood right. The challenge for the mantles of King and Black Panther.
Arguably one of the best and most nuanced villains in the MCU, Killmonger was physically imposing, stylish, and wonderfully complex. Jordan truly delivered the goods with this role.
You're not telling me that's vibranium too, huh?
No, I'm just feeling it.
Number 10, Christian Bale. Not too many actors have crossed the Marvel DC line, Most recently, he played the villain Gore in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Call the axe.
You don't call the axe when you call the dentist.
Call the axe.
Like many Marvel villains, although you ultimately want them to lose, you can kind of understand their side in things, and Bale plays that part to a T. But before that, he was the Caped Crusader, the Dark Knight, the Batman.
Where's the trigger? Where is it?
Some would even call him the best Batman, or at least second to Michael Keaton, but more on him later. He seamlessly portrayed the rich, careless, pretty boy Bruce Wayne and the powerful and purposeful Batman in Christopher Nolan's legendary Dark Knight trilogy.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Number 9. Karl Urban. Urban has lent his talents to many different comic book worlds. His role as Billy Butcher in the dark comic series The Boys is probably his most prominent superhero role. He is the anti-hero of this story, literally, as he hates superheroes and is bent on their destruction.
A bug, and we'll have a little listen. See what's really going on.
Funnily enough, he has a knack for playing this sort of role, or villains turned heroes. In Thor Ragnarok, he played Scourge the Executioner, who originally fought for Thor's sister Hera, but ultimately fights for the good of Asgard.
For Asgard.
He played Cooper in Red, who is the foil of the main characters, but realizes he is being used by his agency and switches sides. He voiced some DC animated characters and also played the titular Judge Dredd, a supreme police officer.
How do you want it, kids? Body bags or juve cubes? Makes no difference to me.
Number 8. Jim Carrey. He is arguably one of the greatest comedic actors of all time, so of course, the role of the Riddler in Batman Forever was the perfect fit for him.
Was that over the top? I can never tell.
A combination of Carrey's classic wit and physical comedy made this character come alive. And though he later criticized the movie for its intense violence, he provided an equally humorous and unhinged performance as Colonel Stars and Stripes in Kick-Ass 2.
Want to see something cool?
Yeah.
Some of you might not have known that The Mask is in fact a comic book movie, based on the Dark Horse production of the same name.
Spoken!
Number 7. Hugo Weaving.
Verily, this vicious swaz of verbiage veers most verbose, so let me simply add that it's my very good honor to meet you, and you may call me V.
Are you like a crazy person?
I'm quite sure they will say so.
The English-Australian actor has mastered the art of playing commanding characters. Though perhaps best known as Agent Smith in the Matrix trilogy, he won the hearts of cinema-goers and comic book lovers alike with his portrayal of Alan Moore's heroic anarchist-slash-revolutionary V. It takes a lot of skill to deliver a powerful performance from behind a mask, but he did just that opposite Natalie Portman.
Would you dance with me?
Now, on the eve of your revolution.
Oh, revolution without dancing is a revolution not worth having.
In 2011, however, he returned to his villainous ways, playing the arch nemesis of Captain America, Johann Schmidt / Red Skull. He nailed the menacing, deeply evil character, and his appearance post-transformation? Chilling and straight from the comics.
Hail Hydra.
Number 6. Michelle Pfeiffer.
Meow.
There's something really nice about seeing the same actor appear in 2 different comic book movies that are separated by a 25-year gap. With her unforgettable performance as Catwoman in Tim Burton's Batman Returns, Michelle Pfeiffer earned a place in the pantheon of pop culture icons.
You poor guys. Always confusing your pistols with your privates.
Flash forward to 2018, and she's once again bringing a classic comic book character to life, this time as the original Wasp, Janet Van Dyne. Though it goes without saying, Pfeiffer delivered yet another excellent performance. Honestly, one of the only criticisms we have is that Ant-Man and the Wasp didn't give her enough screen time.
Well done, honey.
Number 5. Ben Affleck.
Hell's Kitchen is my neighborhood. I prowl the rooftops and alleyways at night, watching from the darkness. Forever in darkness.
Poor Ben Affleck. He's an undeniably talented actor and director, But as far as superhero movies are concerned, he seems incapable of a home run. Daredevil was sadly released before Hollywood really figured out a winning formula for superhero movies. Though it was generally disappointing and has aged poorly, Affleck was actually solid in the role.
I'm not the bad guy. I'm not.
Despite the evil of Hell's Kitchen haunting him, he bravely agreed to play Batman in DC's cinematic universe. While the films haven't fared well with critics, and we would have liked to have seen better writing behind the character, Ben was honestly excellent as both Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Do you plead? You will.
Number 4. Michael Keaton.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
Speaking of actors who did the mantle of Batman proud, how about this household name? Michael Keaton proved himself to be a worthy Batman and Bruce Wayne, despite initial public trepidation about the casting choice.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Flash forward to 2017, and Keaton proved yet again that he's got a knack for bringing comic book characters to life. As far as MCU villains go, Keaton's Vulture was a breath of fresh air.
I thought this was the anti-gravity gun.
What? No, that's that one.
While most are trying to take over the world, he was grounded in more earthly, everyday concerns. He was a reliable villain made even more relatable thanks to Keaton's believable performance.
And don't you ever interfere with my business again. Because if you do, I'll kill you and everybody you love.
Keaton would later reprise his role as Batman in 2023's The Flash, proving he still got it.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Number 3. Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, hello.
This Canadian actor doesn't quit, and he's got a colorful resume to prove it. But every time he got saddled with a stinker in the making, he nonetheless turned in a likable performance. Reynolds first appeared as Hannibal King in Blade Trinity.
We're still trying to sort out fact from fiction when it comes to Dracula. Turning into mist? Kinda doubt it.
Then in 2009, he played the bastardized version of Wade Wilson in the much-maligned X-Men Origins Wolverine, only to follow that up with the colossal bomb that was Green Lantern.
Wow. I know, right?
Then in 2013, he played Nick Walker, R.I.P.D. Because, hey, why not? You'd think he'd have sworn off comic book movies, but he kept pushing for a proper Deadpool movie, and now he's easily one of the most beloved actors in the genre.
Hey, it's me. Don't scratch. Just cleaning up the timelines.
Number 2. Josh Brolin.
I got 2 charges, one to get me here, one to get me home.
Well, that's just lazy writing.
We're going to level with you. This kind of snuck up on us. Josh Brolin's first comic book movie role was a starring one, just not in a very good film. He starred opposite Megan Fox, John Malkovich, and Michael Fassbender in a super weird secondary villain role as the titular Jonah Hex in a film that totally tanked.
Jonah Hex.
But then in 2012, he played a young Agent K in the third Men in Black film and stepped into Tommy Lee Jones's sizable shoes with remarkable grace.
Now I know what you look like when you're lying. Why don't you show me what you look like when you're telling the truth?
It's in the MCU and with Fox that he made the most significant impressions, however, playing both Cable and Thanos in 2 of 2018's biggest comic book movies.
You should have gone for the head.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Chris Evans.
The only thing keeping me and her apart is the 2 minutes it's gonna take to kick your ass.
Can I have your autograph, please?
All hail Chris Evans, an actor who's honestly made a career in the genre. Evans's origins in comic book movies might be humble, but however quick you might be to dismiss Fox's Fantastic Four movies, you can't deny that he made for a likable and charming Johnny Storm.
Johnny, I've got to
ask you about this outfit.
Yeah, it's sort of Armani meets astronaut.
3 years after lending his voice to Casey Jones in the computer-animated TMNT, he played 2 minor comic book characters in the Vertigo adaptation, The Losers, and as an evil X in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, before finally joining the big leagues as none other than Captain America.
How'd you feel?
Taller.
You look taller.
In the role, he became one of the most beloved big-screen heroes of our time. Chris Evans, we salute your contributions to the genre.
I am Steve Rogers.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.